Ana here. And like you said, Melty esports going to be putting out. Actually, it's going to be LDLC putting out Ube with the Mei, but then Melty esports will be countering with an offensive Mei of their own. So ice walls just to block both pathways, maybe opening up something for Melty, while LDLC is going to be blocking where Melty will be pushing from.
Yeah, we have seen the offensive Hanzo again and again, especially at the first point of King's Row, where he just climbs up the walls, takes position on all of these platforms here near the statues of the first point. But then we'll see though, it's all about communication, shutting hardest. There is gonna be a Mei wall just to deny all that, but of course high ground control is important for Team LDLC, I mean Melty Esports Club.
Yeah, Hardest just using a Hanzo Sonic Arrow there to spot out where LDLC are positioned, and Melty Esports come from high ground and immediately uses their own Mei wall, countered by Ube there, and it looks like they're trying to zone out each other as much as possible. Nice lead dart onto Hardest, so he'll be out of the commission for a couple of seconds, and Mesomorphous is taking quite a bit of damage, though immediately popping out a Earth Shadow. It's very quick coming out from Mesomorphous, but gets killed by Boud there.
Really good Mei wall just to separate and deny that follow-up, but a couple of members from LDLC are already dead. That is 2 members down. And as for the spawn point, it's quite far, and here comes Nico. Already has the Death Blossom available, but he will not use that. There's the Blizzard coming right in just to deny all the follow-up coming from the opposite side of the team, and that's going to be an easy take from Melty Esports Club.
You can see there how relentless Nico was. Even when his team was still getting the point, he just zoomed in and went up against LDLC. Props though for Hardest rather, for getting out a early Graviton Surge there. And then Nico, he didn't even have to use his Death Blossom, just using those shotguns to those -1 clicks, and he was able to swipe or get at least 2 to 3 kills immediately right off the bat.
Yeah, 3-3 here for LDLC. It's all about managing to finish and denying the aggression from Melty Esports Club. But then it's just so, in terms of economy for Ultimate, okay, that's going to be Nico with the Death Blossom being used there. He's just going to be killing one member after another against LDLC. They're making it seem so seamless, and that's going to be Bionic Grenade being thrown out to Nico just to zone away the other members of LDLC while the payload pushes so easily and
Nico is playing keep away with Cabal here. Cabal hitting a good Bionic Grenade. Actually might get the kill onto Nico, but that's going to be the case. Mesomorphous is here, and Nico just backs off smartly with his own team, and that payload is pushing so quickly up on the second point. It even puts down their own ice wall. Nico is going on a rampage right now. He even has a Death Blossom to boot, and will he unleash it yet again? Gets a double, gets a triple, and that's going to be Nico rampaging through the whole of Team LDLC, and this is just Melty Esports swiping away, having a huge momentum against LDLC.
This is so painful to watch. I saw when Melty got the point there, Team LDLC did not have any ultimates available for them to deny that first push after getting the payload by Melty. So as it progresses, Melty had so many ults to utilize, and it's just so difficult. Here comes the Blizzard coming from the LDLC.
LDLC trying to at least make their own momentum, and it looks like that's going to be what they actually accomplish here. Mesomorphous getting a double as Kyle gets a couple of hooks and almost gets the kill onto Nico, but Nico having the better position, good headshot onto Kyle. One does get the kill, but still LDLC winning that one with a good Blizzard from Ube.
After a short while, finally Team LDLC has regained their composure, they finally took a breather on this one. But that's just snowballed on towards the third point already. That's going to be a Graviton Surge from Mete. Nicely done, well, just to let them stick on towards 1 point alone. And that'll be 2 members down from Melty Esports. That'll make that a 3. Nico is just comfortably in the back line, just eliminating all those targets.
How is Nico staying alive for the longest time there? Gets the kill onto Kyle, but Cabal does finally shut him down. Though Melty Esports are here for a regroup. They're going to try to refresh their, at least get their cooldowns in set motion. 5 ultimates up on Melty's war chest, so this is going to be very explosive when they try to push this payload. There's the Graviton Launchers coming in, but an ice wall does be activated by Ube there. But Nico is having the time of his life. An Earth Shatter, a Blizzard. He does have his ultimate, but there activates by Kyle 1. A nano boosted whole hog. That's a lot of damage, but not enough to actually shut down Melty Esports here. Though Blizzard comes out from Ube, but an Ice Wall actually stops him in their tracks. Ube is not following up onto this one, and Hardest is having a lot of damage in the backline. He is just enjoying his time right now. Has almost a double, I think a triple there as well. And he is just shutting him down in their own base. 80% to that ultimate. And look at this, no respect at all for Mesomorphous.
Yeah, that Blizzard was more of a defensive and not for everybody else to follow it up. And look at that, Nico dancing around with the members of the LDLC, managed to eliminate a lot of people. Look at that, a lot of people falling down from LDLC in the payload. Looks like this is going to be a win for Melty esports.
Ube is trying to do the best that he can to stay onto the payload, but that's not going to be enough. Badger gets a good swipe onto him. Here comes Cabal, but that Ice Wall brought so much time for Melty esports that they will be able to get this one. 3 caps with 2:54 on the timer.
You saw that May wall from LDLC. The Blizzard was used, but the wall was for defensive purposes. So even though Nico was, like, the other members of Melty were frozen, there was no one there to follow it up with a bunch of kills. And it actually helped LDLC because that wall blocked a lot of poke damage from their own side of the team. So it's super beneficial. And Nico was not pressured at all by LDLC. That's why he was so comfortable just making the picks, just keep on harassing the backline. I think LDLC has no response. They have to try to deny Nico. I mean, a lot of people from Melty are making the plays, but it's so obvious that Nico is just doing all the DPS with no contest whatsoever.
Well, as I've seen most Beyblade plays that comes out from any team, in my mind, it always gets countered with a good sleeping dart, and Cabal has not hit any good ones when Nico goes in. And I think you have to give it to Bout for putting a lot of ice walls that kind of block Cabal's vision, but at the same time, Cabal has to position better to actually hit those good sleeping darts, or at least have, their Reinhardt hit an Earthshatter immediately when they see Nico coming in with that Beyblade, or at least they want to be overwhelmed like that. But it looks like LDLC would put Mesomorphous on a Pharah. Could be.
You have to chalk this up to what it is. There's a huge difference in skill level here. You can see they're not winning the fights with or without the ultis, and they don't have enough time to think up strategies to change up or mix up their strats either.
Yeah, so it's all about denying Nico and making room for LDLC to make more plays. That's what their problem is, but they're going to be on the attacking side for now. Let's see if they're going to push through this offensive Hanzo. If it's going to be a scout, looks like not. They're going to push through this one. The shots have to count. Hanzo has to get past through this area right here and go to the platforms for more high ground control and manage to get a pick and pass through the shields of Reinhardt.
Nico's gonna have a fun time when he drops down from there, as he is not being spotted out at all by LDLC. Bout staying in the backline, almost actually having his own ultimate, releasing the Blizzard right there, and Nico gets a kill onto Cabal, so no more high burst heal here coming in from LDLC, and they have to back away, but Bout is not going to allow them. Puts down a 50% main wall there from the exit point, and they push out LDLC. LDLC did not expect Nico to be there, but that's their weakness, as they don't have anyone on high ground. The Ube has some nice kill onto Bout, good headshot from him, and he could actually unleash a dragon right now. Yuga Wakateki Yukurao, but here comes Nico from the backside with a nano boosted Reaper. Gets the kill onto Ube, but you can't see that Cabal at least hits his own sleeping dart there to stop the damage of Nico, but Nico is still here. He's playing keep away with 3 members of LDLC. What is happening right now? He still survives and finally gets taken down by Clown.
I was actually pretty worried for LDLC. I thought the Dragon Strike wouldn't be able to eliminate the targets, but it's like a lot of targets would maximize that ultimate, but then it worked out really well for them, mainly because even though no one died, it pushed away Melty esports and it blocked the vision of Melty. So it was pretty good still, and they managed to reserve a Graviton Surge for their next attack, but Bud still charging his ultimate. I'm pretty sure he's just gonna drop it down. They're not gonna switch just yet, and that's gonna be a Graviton Surge to use.
One kill from Nico will charge his ultimate up to max. Actually not even needing it. Just a couple of kills. Badger with 2 swipe onto Clown as well as Ube. And here comes Nico from the sidelines. Unleashes a rip spin to win. Look at those kills coming out from Melty esports. Depleting, just deleting everybody from LDLC.
Yeah, the sound barrier is going to be up for people later on, and that's gonna be Mesomorphous. Probably gonna wait for Kyle or Cabal on their side so that they can wombo or combo that later on for the attacking side. But the problem is people, again, with the sound barrier plus the nano boost for themselves as well, so they have to make sure that Nico will not have that space or pressure once again. That's okay, never mind, he's not gonna need the death blossom for that one.
Nico and Shane, but there is an ultimate from Mesomorphous stopping him in his tracks, and another follow-up sleeping dart there from Cabal. Finally, he sets it up for his team and stops this play from Melty esports Club, but that's not gonna be enough because you know what? Badger is still alive. Ryuko Wakatakirao comes out from Ube, but does not feast his dragon, or doesn't feed his dragon any kills right there. Hardest is getting the heals from Tech 36, so he's gonna be the front man here for a couple of seconds. But there comes Ube. Ube is getting the kills, double kill, triple kill for the Hanzo, and you can't see from the sidelines. Hardest does get the kill onto Mate there, but Mesomorphous is angry. He is charged up and ready to go. Gets another, and it looks like LDLC will be able to push this payload and maybe get this second point. Melty esports are going to be trying for a Nico up on top. He doesn't have his ultimate 50%, but we'll see what happens.
I like how flexible Team LDLC is with their nano boosts, and they can really adjust in terms of team dynamics. Like Kyle, Ube, either Ube or Mesomorphous can handle the nano boost pressure whenever they get sent. You're powered up, get in there.
Powered up, get in there indeed, but Kyle just slipping past through the whole of Melty esports, and Melty esports don't know what hit him. Kyle's going to be able to Shadow Wraith away from that one, and even though there was the Blizzard, Nico still gets taken down, and it looks like LDLC have time to burn. Look at that, 3 minutes and 53 seconds. They have 1 minute to maybe out-time Melty here.
Great job from Team LDLC for shutting down the defense of Melty and not relying on the Graviton Surge plus the Dragon. There's so many ways that they can combine, and they're not relying on one linear strategy. Now Bot is forced to use a Pharah this time around for the third point, just to have more high ground control, just to scare away the Hanzo. But I hear the Graviton Surge.
Oh my god, Ube triple kill with the Dragons. Nico, oh come on, just go with the with the control crouch. He gets the kill. No, Nico still stays alive for a couple of seconds, but Ube with the help from Mete saw the Dragon feasting on 3 people from Melty esports, and this payload is pushing. Even though it is 3 minutes and 5 seconds, they can actually out-time Melty here, but Melty have the spawn advantage, and they can actually keep coming into this payload. Here comes Nico, gets a kill, gets the one, Val gets the kill onto Kyle. Nico follows up onto Ube, finally shutting down Ube there, and Mete in no man's land gets immediately obliterated, and that's going to be the team kill for Melty esports.
I remembered I mentioned, even though, let's just say, Melty esports, they do have the spawn advantage. They can keep pouring in, just get their momentum. They can keep their momentum. Meanwhile, for LDLC, I remembered I mentioned that they have a tendency to get excited once they know that, you know, we might win this one, we might do it faster than Melty.
Gets a double. He has the ultimate yet again. He's going to activate it right now, but you can see that Mesomorphous is actually pushing them away, but this Dragon will be actually shutting down the exit paths of Melty esports Club, and LDLC might actually get this one. Yes, they almost do. Bout is still there. He does have the Tracer, but here comes Peepo with the sound barrier just to stick onto the payload with a huge amount of shield, but Kyle has his ultimate up. This could be enormous. Actually goes in, gets a double, looks for the triple, and you can see that this Diva is holding on for a final defense on the payload. Can they do it? Bout is still here. How is he still alive? Bout gets taken down, and will Team LDLC get more time for their secondary push? Push this to sudden death, or will Melty esports burn it to overtime? They still have, again, like I said already, spawn advantage, but still, they are holding on. LDLC slaps it down with an Earth Shatter for Mesomorphous. Oh my goodness, Bout has died time and time again, but this Tracer is so worth it for Melty esports Club. There's the Graviton Surge from Mate, but still the payload has not yet pushed onto the final point. What is happening?
Oh my god, look at that. Melty esports just keep pouring in on towards the payload, but they will still get it. LDLC. 1 minute and 19 seconds left on the clock compared to Melty.
What a defense from Melty. They just kept pouring out. Board on the Tracer, just bouncing around that payload, and just slowing LDLC for as long as they could. And now LDLC don't have as much time to work with, but they actually did rather well against Melty.
Yeah, that is true. Even, actually, Kyle did a good job eliminating the annoying Tracer from Melty. But this time around, let's see who's gonna do it faster. I mean, Team LDLC still has this. They still have a chance to win this against Melty. But then again, in terms of who did it better, of course, Melty on the first set, they pushed it faster, and mainly because they did not have an answer to Nico. And this time around, I feel like maybe they've learned their lesson, maybe they know what the core, not really core weakness, but one of the weaknesses of Melty. So let's see if LDLC finally has a reply to them.
I just have to say, I love you, Ube. Those Dragon Strikes coming out from Ube was so good. Followed up by Mete's Graviton Surge, just feeding the Dragon time and time again. This is what allowed LDLC to push this pale to the final point. Although granted, Melty esports hanged on for the longest time, but still, LDLC were able to accomplish that and at least have a minute and 19 seconds to boot, but they're going to be on the attacking squad, and Ube will be playing on this Hanzo yet again.
Alright, I really like their team dynamics because they have a lot of options here, but Nico...
Ube scatter shot and immediately bursts down Nico there. You can't see that bow. You're going to be using a defensive ice wall, but they don't have a Nico Reaper to use, so this is a 5v6 that LDLC can capitalize on, and they immediately do so. Mesomorphous dashing in, and Ube gets another double kill. Look at Ube just rushing in and getting the kills with his own team, and Kyle will be able to be that frontline Reaper that they need, but Mesomorphous not far behind for being the frontline.
Beautiful start from Team LDLC. I believe that was a rather cocky start from Melty with Nico trying to do a sneaky attack inside a room, knowing that, you know, maybe Ube will do the same strat, or LDLC will do the same strat with a Hanzo, and underestimating the scatter shot inside the room. So that first pick was very essential. It boosted LDLC to just go in for the 5v6. They know that they could do it, and with that head start, they have a bunch of ultimates available soon. That's going to be Ube with the Dragon Strike, plus Mete with a Graviton Surge. I believe, I mean, I love how they can combine, but they're going to be relying on overtime. That's the worrying thing.
Overtime is it? It is, but as long as they can push this to the very, very farthest reach that they can, it will be worth for LDLC there. Hammer down comes in from Badger, and you can see that Ube not able to unleash his dragons there, get immediately shut down, I believe, and he tried to, but it wasn't enough. Nico is on a rampage right now. Look at that. He is getting kill after kill. Cabal is not going to be able to stick to the payload. There comes Nico with the ultimate, but not able to capitalize or use it optimally, and that's going to be about it. 61.94 meters.
We'll see how Melty esports. I mean, Melty earlier on the attacking side against LDLC, they did it successfully in one go. Team LDLC managed to replicate that on the second set, but it's kind of worrisome because, again, what do they have for against Nico? And they have to. It might snowball because the payload is quite near that first point, so they really have to buy some time and try to deny that away from Melty. And I believe Ube might be on a May this time around, but he was, if he's on a what do you call this, on a DPS type, he could really do more, but then May is the essential one here for the defending side.
Sometimes being essential isn't gonna allow you to win. Sometimes it is. When you're on the hot hand on a Hanzo, maybe that's the one you want to use, though. LDLC gonna pick the safer choice and put Ube on a Mei, like you said. So, you know, utilizing those ice walls and blizzards to stall Melty esports for as long as possible. Sudden death is definitely all about the stalling and keeping your opponents away from that goal rectangle, or else it will spell death for you. But hardest, is he gonna play the attacking Hanzo here, or will that just be, like you said, a scouting Hanzo?
Yeah, probably just a scout. He's gonna switch on to that. I believe Mei. He's in a Mei now.
Will he actually just block this immediately? Yeah, he does good. Put a good block and actually separates the Reinhardt with his team for a couple of seconds. But you can see LDLC actually picking Kyle 1 with a Roadhog. And Mesomorphous has to back away, has to play with his team. And there is another ice wall coming out, but it doesn't slip them or split them too much. Both teams just feeling each other off, and heal after heal Nico is coming from the sides, and this could be huge if LDLC do not spot this out.
Yeah, they have to be very aware where Nico is. They have to shut him down, because immediately, remember, that time, well, VOD will get picked off there. So remember that time where they successfully took that
They
took the
both
first one.
charged on the stairs
Yeah.
and hit the stairs. That was pretty fun to watch. Kyle with a double kill, Manny to follow up, and Mesomorphous is charging down onto Hardness. I am gonna chase you until, oops, just the entrance and gonna back off away. LDLC are holding on strong, but Melty Esports have still 2 minutes to work with.
Yeah, that is true. Great defense coming from LDLC, and they have a lot of ultimates to work with, just in case Melty decides to pour all in. But then again, it's really watching where Nico is just gonna land. But there's gonna be a Graviton Surge. Is there gonna be a follow-up? There's the Blizzard being laid out. That's double Blizzard. That looks like a Venn diagram to me. But there's the charge in from Mesomorphous, and he will lock down people. There's less healer for LDLC. I mean, for Melty at this point. But Nico will eliminate 3 people on the side of LDLC. They'll be getting the first point.
LDLC wanted to be the one who was aggressive there, but it kind of backfired because they didn't see where Nico was. You saw that Mete dropped down from the second floor. You put down a group Graviton Surge and then followed up by a Blizzard. But then when Mete was dropping down, Nico was already putting damage and he kind of like panicked a little bit. And then it was in a 5v6 situation wherein Melty Esports had the ultimate, had the numbers advantage, and had the damage to work with.
Yeah, the pressure is on here for Team LDLC, but only a few seconds left as well for Melty Esports to push this to the payload. And in terms of ultimate, Cabal will definitely put that onto Mesomorphous later on. I believe they keep on putting their Nano Boost onto the Reinhardt this time around, which I think it's very optimal with this kind of compressed area on the streets, and that's going to be a Graviton Surge being used.
And Mesomorphous is powered up right there. He spots out Boud, and Boud puts himself into the ice stasis, but you can see that he was able to push out the Lucio as well as the Mei, so that's a pretty good play from LDLC. And only 10 seconds left, they can actually just put a huge ice wall, and LDLC will win this. It's gonna be Ube, put down the ice wall, and there you go. Wait, hold that thought. Boud comes in for the sidelines, and is gonna try to push for overtime, but that overtime is still putting down. No, it's gonna be Melty Esports still onto the payload. Mesomorphous is dropped down dead here. The Badger gets a double. There's a Graviton Surge coming out from Mate, and he's trying to keep his teammates alive. Hardest gets hooked in, but he dashes out, and he's gonna try to at least stick to the payload here, but not gonna be enough. Another ice wall. Bout is there, but the dash or the run from this Soldier 76 is not gonna be enough, and that's gonna be LDLC winning the first map. Kings Row in their pockets.
I'm so amazed by that fight. I think it was an answer to the pressure coming from LD. I guess they really work well under pressure, and I think it's not really an upset, but more like they managed to answer with what Nico had, and I think it's more like the spawn point as well worked on their favor.
Yeah, I just have to ask, if the Reaper does have that highlight intro and you have the pumpkin skin, if you roll it like that, wouldn't the pumpkin head roll off?
I don't know, man.
Wow, alright.
I don't know, that was just a weird question.
Yeah, I didn't know how to answer your question.
No, it's more response to LDLC's win, so I wasn't going to say that.
On the first half, total domination by Melty Esports Club. Bod with the Mei just zoning LDLC away, and of course Nico to clean every mess.
Bloody MVP, I swear hacks LDLC, no I'm just kidding. They're really good, but Ube was their star player.
Definitely.
That Hanzo offensive on him on that first map, sorry, on their first offensive round was so good, and they did not expect the Dragon Stripe coming out. They strike. And they did not expect all those arrows. He didn't even need his ult to get all those kills. He was cleaning up by himself. Ube is such a good carry for LDLC.
Yeah.
And Melty, you can see they're all on that sort of level that Ube is on. And I feel like LDLC, the rest of their teammates, not on the same level as Ube, but he was doing enough of a job to keep LDLC in contention. And Melty, that was unexpected. I didn't expect them to have 1 point on the map, and now they've got one, and we'll see how they do on the next map.
Yeah, I think the ultimate management coming from LDLC worked really great on the defense, knowing that, you know, let's just delay as much as we can, because eventually, you know, they're gonna take the first point of Kings Row anyway. So having the Mei Blizzard available for the second point, because the payload is, you know, just in the middle of the streets at the second point, that was really crucial. The Blizzard was really crucial for them.
Yeah. Blizzard plus Mesomorphous with a Nano Boost,
Yeah.
splitting away Boud on the Mei plus the Lucio. Actually, I think what also made it work for LDLC on that on the sudden death round, and well, you know, LDLC gets map 1.
The other thing that the other thing that I noticed about LDLC is they learn. They're actually learning.
Yeah.
They notice what happened when Melty first went up with them. Nico was hiding up on that balcony inside the hotel, just waiting for them so that he could get a good flank onto them and get some damage coming from behind and take out the support, which he did. On their first defense from Melty, he got the kill onto Ana, and then it fell apart for them on that first team fight. Second time round, they knew he was going to be there. Uwe went straight for that point and took out Nico, and then their map awareness had increased immensely in that second offensive. And I thought LDLC, they're actually learning. That's why they've got potential, because they learn from their mistakes straight away.
Yeah, and especially if at the second point there's just basically technically the fastest way to get there is that arch over there at the entrance of the streets. So that and everybody, all you have to do is just funnel all your damage, all that poke in that one area. Because if you want to go high ground and go over the stairs, it will take a long time. So the delay on the first point was really good job for LDLC, which helped a lot in contributing to winning this series.
Yeah.
I mean this game.
I mean,
just this match. Still have a game too.
Yeah, I mean, they could have tried to come in from the right side, but that would have been taking a long time, and a huge May wall would have just stopped them in their tracks.
Yeah.
Man, LDLC, I really think that they saw Nico just coming out from always just being away from his team, and then saw the trend and stopped it.
I have a feeling.
Yeah, you
Cabal,
jinxed it now.
Cabal is a former player of Melty Esports Club. Maybe. He knows the strategy and know how to counter it.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Interesting. Well, I'm really excited. The next map, I believe, is going to be Hollywood. This time around, I think it's LDLC that picked Hollywood.
No confirmations there. Yeah, I guess we can ask later.
Yeah.
I mean, if Melty did pick King's Row, we should know. If Melty did pick King's Row, they should be a little bit concerned, because LDLC, they're supposedly the underdog. Melty is the underdog of the pro scene already. LDLC came as an underdog in general.
Yeah.
And they've actually established themselves quite well here. And Melty, they didn't win at all those fights. Plus the fact that LDLC in their first matchup, how they got all the way to the end despite making all the mistakes they were making. They were making mistakes that pros do not make.
Yeah.
And then in that second push, Melty couldn't capitalize on that at all. And they learned straight away from the mistakes, as I said. And Melty, they've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
They've been in the pro scene for a while, and I feel like they should have performed better. So we'll see how they do in Hollywood. It's a much different map. It's a much different map, Hollywood, from King's Row. Same objective, just that much.
What I like about LDLC is that they have a lot of options. They're not very linear as what we've seen from Melty, where they just let Nico do the DPSing. For LDLC, they have Kyle. On a Reaper, they have the nano boosted Reinhardt. Yeah, bless you. The nano boosted Reinhardt, and Uwe's Hanzo, the Dragon Strike plus the Graviton Surge. Even he doesn't have to wait for the Graviton Surge. He just releases the Dragon Strike as a way for an entrance. Bless you again. As as a camouflage, so that the rest of his members can follow up, get that zoning from the dragon, and then everything just follows through. So as for Melty, maybe they have a better footing here for Hollywood, because you can use the Farm Mercy here. I think we haven't seen that at the previous map, at King's Row, which is understandable. You'd have more importance to the May, and then we'll see. I'm really excited about this match, because there is a potential to see the Temple of Anubis, I believe. Oh, no. We don't have a Temple of Anubis.
Yeah, actually, that was one of the things I was talking about when it came to the mistakes from LDLC. You saw the Dragon Strike coming out from the Hanzo, and then Mesomorphis charges in and pushes the Reinhardt out of the way of the ult, and I thought, well, I think there was some miscommunication there, but Mesomorphis got the counter Reinhardt anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like they can make their mistakes, but they still do their cleanup.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job so far, and we'll see how they do here at Hollywood. And they're gonna be on the defensive side this time around. And Melty, we'll see. Nico, again, definitely going to be super annoying on the Reaper. But then, as for Tech 36, might be just an early Widow just to see, get confirmation.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Ana. You can't have one support. No way is that gonna happen.
Yes, sir. So hardest. We'll see if he's gonna use that Genji, because I can imagine the nano boosted Dragon's Blade, the Nano Blade, or as Asteroid calls it, the Hitan Mitsurugi style.
Oh god, I'm not gonna call it that. Okay, so we're gonna be starting into this map here.
Yeah.
And there you go.
There you go. A little bit back. Sorry for Alvin, guys. It's 6 seasons though.
Yeah, sorry.
So we do see that Ube is going to be playing on the main, not on the Hanzo, so it might be the offensive one when they are on the attack. Eats a Firestrike, has to use the Ice Stasis, and you can see that Nico going to come in from a flank perspective here, and actually gets immediately hooked in by Kyle once, so that's pretty good, but Badger already taking down Mesomorphous, and in terms of the push, it looks like Melty esports Club are strong and gets an immediate take on this payload.
There were so many times where Ube could have gotten the shot onto Nico, but he missed twice, not even hitting the Reaper. So that is a really key moment for Team LDLC for them to deny at least one wave of attack from Melty, and then eventually...
Oh, Nico! He has to shatter it away, but there's the May wall. Countering him from escaping.
Yeah, but that's fine. The spawn point is just nearby. They're just getting started, but that's going to give quite a few percentages on their ultimates. That's going to be Ube and Mesomorphous available for their ults to deny that, but it's kind of scary because Badger and Tech 36 does have their own. So
Kyle, my goodness, his hooks have been unleashed there, but here comes Bout as well as Ube activating their own blizzards. Mesomorphous going in, dashing through everything, feeds rather a fire strike into the face of Hardest there. But Pipo winning the duel against a Reinhardt. Huh, what do you think? Sound can shatter steel.
Yeah, they're doing their best to just concentrate on this choke point, but looks like Melty esports is going to keep moving forward, and really great economy ultimate there, mainly because they have 4 ultimates available after that push. Team LDLC, I believe, Mesomorphous a bit overextended, knowing that they're near the spawn point, but there's going to be a sleep dart onto Nico. Great deny.
Oh no, the awoken Nico. That was not what they intended to do, and he punished them with a 2-0 onto Kyle, and Cabal Clown at least shuts down Nico for the meantime, but Melty esports Club are still on the offensive. Hardest having his own ultimate up, so they have something to work with. Even though Melty esports have done the plays, they have still more in their fight with LDLC, have 3 ultimates to counter them. Let's see what they can do.
You can tell how communication is very important. I mean, that was so... That was such a waste of a sleep dart. That could have worked so well for Team LDLC. Again, it's all about, but more like focusing on Nico, not letting him have room to make the plays.
Nico has been playing this backstab game all throughout. Here comes Bao with an ice wall just to separate his team, and Nico actually forced to go to raid form. And he's not going to be able to capitalize on that huge play by Bao, but still gets a double. Badger to follow up onto Cabal, and this is just being a trend right now for Melty esports. Kyle gets a beautiful hook, but gets stopped immediately with an ice wall, putting Nico to high ground and saving his teammate. What communication here coming in from Melty esports.
Yeah, the teamwork is insane from Melty, rescuing Nico from death from that Roadhog. You can tell the difference between, I mean, in terms of communication, LDLC has to do the same thing in terms of, you know, telling your teams, hey, the Reaper's asleep, or have, I don't know, that was a really, that was a waste. So it's continuing to snowball from Melty at this point. They're not delaying as much as they can, and Ube switching to a Genji, and we'll see, they don't have a Mei at this point.
Aggressive graviton surge there, but nobody follows up. Actually, never mind. It's gonna be Mesomorphous to follow that one up. I thought it was gonna be Ube, but they don't need him. Mesomorphous is still here, but Nico is high on top, and Ube will finally shut him down in LDLC. Really getting control of the payload.
Yeah, normally Hollywood, the 3rd point is the one that's kind of hard to push all throughout. I mean, because of the spawn point is very advantageous to the defending side, and there's not much entrances that you can work with since you guys are just going to be pouring it, but there's going to be Nico with Death Blossom. and that is him still alive and well and eliminating all the targets from Team LDLC. That's 4 people down from the defending side, and Cabal is all alone.
And Nico just crouching in front of Cabal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you saw what happened there. Nico got a good, or was sleep darted well by Cabal, but then he was awoken prematurely, and as well as when he was about to die, you saw that immediately right off the bat, Tech 36 just dropped down a huge biotic grenade to heal back up Nico there. And now Ube will be trying to parry, but he will get frozen, and he's not going to survive for long. It's taken out by Tech 36, and Nico in a 1v1 against Mete, and Mete cannot handle the Reaper.
Exactly.
And Vowed actually freezing Cabal there, and able to finish it off. And this is going to be a fast take by Melty esports. 2:40 onto the clock, but LDLC, it looks like they were able, well, they might replicate King's Row and just, you know, outlast sudden death mode.
See how confident Melty is on Hollywood. They had so much, especially Nico, running around, spraying all over the place, you know, and well, crouching on people's faces, and yeah, they're very confident on this map, and they actually, it's you know, it's not unexpected how well they did in that initial push. I don't know how if LDLC will be able to do what Melty just did.
Yeah, for King's Row, from King's Row earlier, where they just denied Melty esports on the second point, but then see for Hollywood.
Yeah, Ube's still thinking what he has to use as the DPS. I think he can just
What do you
go
think?
for maybe Hanzo. I think Hanzo would be best here because, you know, he did so well in King's Row, and this is Hollywood. Hanzo attack is not uncommon on these maps, so
Yeah.
feeding the dragon some kills is the way to go.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of Hollywood offensive Hanzos when they would take position in that high platform over there, as you can see. But the problem is if one of your teammates.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. That's gonna be the offensive Hanzo coming from Ube. He did, just as you guys said, he did so well. But it's all a matter of the rest of his teammates opening opportunities and chances for him to make the plays. Because if he gets pressured, I'm not sure if he can do or replicate the same thing that happened in King's Row.
Oh, I'm sad a little bit. Kyle's going to be their DPS with the Tracer. So Big Bang is what LDLC are looking for, while Ube is going to be playing on a Roadhog. So maybe they're looking to Melty esports, actually thinking he's going to be an offensive Hanzo, and then catch them off on the first rotate, and then shift back if their first attack does not, you know, give them any fruit.
Yeah, that's right. They're going to be rushing in towards it. But Melty esports with a classic defense comp, and we'll see. I'm pretty sure that they have to be careful with Bod's walls, because if Mesomorphous will get separated from the rest of the team, and Ube is going to be moving forward in advance onto that side on stairs there. But then we'll see. They want to move. Obviously, they want to move to the side, but they keep denying that. That's going to be a sleep dart.
Did that just connect onto Kyle Wood?
Yes.
Goodness, that was huge. Even on a slippery Tracer, that's not something you know, you'd think you can do when you're on a but still.
Yeah, this is quite a dangerous slow push from LDLC, mainly because they're going to be ultimates available for Melty here, and then that's going to be a Reinhardt charging in and nano boosted. He gets knocked down, and great biotic grenade. That was insane. There was no heal coming in from Melty, and then there are a lot of people falling down through and through from Melty Esports Club, and looks like Team LDLC in a very comfortable spot, having 4 ultimates available for their next push.
Yeah, and even though Mesomorphous went down and had his ultimate up, he didn't even have to use it, as it looked like Mete was able to do the work, and the damage from this Zarya was enough to get the payload, and it looks like LDLC are on a good start.
Yeah, that was a sort of last-minute defense desperate move from Melty. So they put the nano boost instead onto the Reinhardt, knowing that, you know what, maybe it's not going to be Nico this time who's going to make the kills, but that's going to be a Graviton Surge from Mete, and that's going to be no kills just yet. They're going to be kills from Melty. That's Reinhardt and everybody else falling down, so great defense from Melty on the second point.
Mesomorphous has yet to unleash his Earth Shatter, and he has to run away. Oh no, Cabal's there. He tried to hide himself, but Melty esports sniffed him out. You're gonna get taken down, but they do have on their next attack at least almost 4 ultimates to work with.
Yeah, that is true. And for LDLC, that's gonna be Cabal and Mesomorphous combo later on. I'm definitely gonna anticipate that there. The
Artist is so aggressive, just drops down and puts a huge Graviton Surge there that Nico is following up on. He can't use his ultimate just yet, and there's the Earth Shatter dropping down 2 of these supports, but can they follow through quickly enough? It looks like they will, but Nico unleashes himself and gets a fast triple. Mete to follow up, but Mete is looking to actually stop this bleeding from LDLC, and his Zarya has been key for these pushes.
Yeah, that's gonna be an advantage, a spawn advantage for Melty, mainly because, you know, they're just waiting to charge their ultimates, and then Melty is quite far. And then in the meantime, for LDLC, they have 3 ultimates available, 2 for Melty, and then that's gonna be hardest switching up to the McCree this time around. Kyle will be on his Tracer.
To the side if he can actually place down a huge ultimate there, but Hardest is gonna stop him with a flashbang. They already immediately adjusted, and that kind of, you know, got LDLC caught off guard. Kyle was trying to set up, and then oops, Hardest on the sidelines.
Yeah, team kill for Melty here, buying a lot of time, delaying as much as they can, because they're probably assuming that it's gonna be, they might finish this round onto the 3rd point, and then they're gonna reset the match. So as much as possible, they want to keep choking the time here for Team LDLC. That's gonna be a Graviton Surge being used.
Graviton Surge as well as the Big Bang gets 1 kill onto Peepo, so that might be enough. Nico is still here trying to get the Soul Orbs for him to feast on, but that's not going to be the case. And you can see that even though Tech36 is jumping up and down with that Ice Wall from Bound, it's not going to be enough. It's going to be LDLC with this one, and Kyle is still on the Tracer doing the best that he can. Ube hits a good hook there onto Badger, and that'll be at least the front line of Melty esports drop down. Nico's going to be pushing himself actually, and spots out. I believe that was Cabal, but then he was a little bit too out of position, and Kyle capitalizes with a double onto Peepo and Nico.
You can see how agitated Melty is right now. They keep pouring in out of the entrances here at the shuttle part of Hollywood, but then to no avail. They're not able to delay Team LDLC, and they're in a very comfortable spot because they have 3 ultimates available to be used onto their attack. So spawn point advantage will be on Melty this time around, but then again, it's once they get comboed here, it's just gonna be super dangerous. They have practically more or less 3 minutes on the clock. If they get this 3rd point, it might be deja vu, like what happened in Kings Row.
Nico is gonna come in from top, and he will focus down Ube. Ube has no heal that will keep him from the clutches of Nico, and look at that Bout and Nico just starting it off, and Bout as well and I believe it was Hardest as well to follow up. Will LDLC actually shift up and put Kyle to something else, and Ube to another hero? Or will they stick to their guns? They still have plenty of time to work with, and I think that's going to be the case here.
Yeah, what I like about LDLC, as I mentioned, that they have a lot of options on where they would put their nano boost, on what they would do with their ultimate combos. Mete, again, what you said with Kyle, that can be a big bang, but here comes Nico. Will eliminate 1 person from, what do you call this, from LDLC, and looks like Melty will live another day.
Yeah, these tight corners are where Melty are playing God right now. You can see there that LDLC have no answer at all to how much AoE damage this Reaper has with the Nano Boost and his own Death Blossom combo. The Nano Blossom, it's just too much for LDLC here, but you can see how that Ube has shifted up to the Genji, and Kyle almost having his ultimate. Ube gonna go in from the sidelines and spots out Tech36. If he can kill Tech36, this could be huge for LDLC. Mesomorphous gets a kill onto Peepo there on the kill feed. Artist is still alive though, and Now you can see that Ube is in a duel against Hardest. Hardest is still doing the best that he can, but nice headshot onto Kyle. It's a little bit crazy from Hardest, but Hardest could be in no man's land, but gets another headshot onto Ube. As the Worm has finally shut him down with a fire strike. And this payload is being pushed by LDLC, though the damage is being dealt so well by Hardest there.
Yeah, despite Hardest doing his best on the McCree, eliminating most of the DPS from Team LDLC, it still managed to put an opening for the attacking side, and they're still really comfortable at this point of the game. No ultimates available just yet, but in time, Ube and Cabal, I believe that's going to be the cleaning up type combo with the Dragon's Blade and the Nano Boost. I hear a hammer down. That's going to be an Earth Shatter coming from Melty this time around. Badger will, and the rest of Melty will clean LDLC up, and they're buying more time. That's more or less 30 seconds on the clock.
You can see the frustration in Ube because he keeps parrying Hardest when Hardest is like, nope, I'm gonna wait, bro. I'm gonna wait, and then put a flashbang over you when your parry is done, and he can't do anything but just run away. Hardest activating his Deadeye just so that he can buy more time for Melty esports here, but gets the shutdown onto Cloud. Cabal is no more, and this is no supports for LDLC. Will this Dragon Blade from Ube make anything for LDLC? That's gonna be a no, and Melty Esports Club win this one 1-1, and we are gonna go on to the
Game
final map.
Wow. So you just as you said, they were so desperate onto getting that point, but the problem is spawn advantage coming in from Melty, and they had no answer to the McCree. It just added a lot of problems, because Hardest added to the, to the dynamic on where, oh no, Nico is a problem, and then Hardest went to, switched up to a McCree. No, he's gonna be another problem. So, look at that, Hardest just casually lasering the members of LDLC. He's just, hello there.
Casual is the right word.
Yeah.